So these aren't Stephen King.
They do
But they
feel
could
like
be.
it. They do feel like it. They really feel like it. Even Invasion does, actually, now that I think about it. Now that you've said that. It hadn't occurred to me so much for Invasion. Definitely did for From. Not Invasion.
From feels very much like it is just lifted from Stephen King.
It feels quite under the dome, doesn't it? I think that's
Like,
probably the thing it's closest to, I guess.
Do you know what's worse? Is it feels like what Under the Dome should have been.
Oh, that's horrendous behaviour. Well,
By
I
Stephen
suppose-
King.
I suppose we might get to the end of From and just be like, huh, more aliens.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of the link, and I think it is just like Stephen Kingy, but not.
Yeah, or I suppose I was
Creepy
gonna say,
creatures.
It's not even necessarily because it's not necessarily an extraterrestrial event, is it? From, but that is definitely the horror route of things. Although there was some horrific moments in Invasion that are particularly towards the end that I think we need to talk about at some point. But which of these two do you want to start with?
I guess we've already. We started on both of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, fuck.
I was leveling the playing field.
Normally, it's the show that I like the least, but I think let's go Invasion, mostly
Okay.
because I want to talk about the version I nearly watched.
Yes. We should cover that definitely. Okay, go on.
Wow.
So the one we
It's,
are talking about is the 2021 show on Apple TV.
Yes, not whatever the fuck I was watching. It's the same sort of thing. Like it's aliens, but it starts off in a with a storm chaser, and he flies into the middle of a storm, and then arguably maybe the worst. It was the CGI that gave it away, and then I was like, I think Joe said something about Apple TV, and this is prime.
This does not scream Apple.
Yeah. Oh, it's from 2005 to 2006.
Oh wow, yeah.
22 episodes though. It's pretty good. But yeah, it just looked quite bad. And then I think I got about 5 minutes in and just went, I don't think this is the right show.
Yeah,
And
I
then
corrected
moved on
you,
to
didn't I?
2021. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I had to sign up for another. This is the weird thing. Another free trial with Apple TV. I don't know if Big Apple are listening, but I've had quite a few of them, so stop offering them to me. You've
No.
lost money.
No, but this is how. Yeah, but you're only watching one episode.
I swear they used to do a thing where you could watch the first episode of a show for free.
It
'Cause
makes
that's
a
how
lot of
we
sense
watched
because
Ted
that's how
Lasso.
that's how you get people hooked. You make a really good pilot, give it to them for free, and then just go, money,
Ah.
please.
And then, haha, law of diminishing returns. Ha ha ha, we've got your money. Ha ha ha.
Well, I mean, it is Apple. The diminishing starts as soon as you take it, like, home.
Yes, Invasion. So, did you know anything about Invasion before you started watching Invasion?
Well, I knew that there were aliens because that's obvious. It has to be aliens. Or, maybe something biblical that makes crop circles.
Is that a thing? Is there crop circles in the Bible?
No, that's what makes it really obvious that it's aliens. That and, fiction.
I do wonder how that started. The whole there's a weird thing in the crop circle. Oh, it must be an alien. Why is that the first? Or how has that thought process evolved?
I don't know, because it's, quite obvious that it's humans that make them.
Yeah.
But I suppose if you... Because I get at ground level, you can't see them. So it's only once you fling someone out of a catapult that you go, oh, fuck. Like someone's drawn a pattern.
Also,
Well, you're not flinging someone that you care about from a catapult, are you? If so, we should have some questions about you becoming a dad.
I suppose, yeah. Do you reckon maybe that was it? Maybe like the people who are making crop circles were like, for fuck's sake, no one can see that we're doing it. They've been doing this for ages and ages. Like, eventually, someone's going to figure this out.
Yeah. Well, the trouble is the peasants never had enough land to write anything useful, so that's why they're all just circles. They're all hoping that they're dotting an I somewhere.
So, who have we got? Sam Neill. Big Sam Neill shows up. His last day, it was 1 day from retirement.
Yeah, which I don't know.
still in
It
crop
always
circles.
feels a bit like there's a bit of that that just feels a bit like try harder.
There is, but also it's kind of like it's
The thing, what I really like the way that this plays with it, where they just kind of go at the end of he dies at the end of the episode.
yeah.
So it's just a bit like, oh, okay. Like, that's different to the normal, like, oh, I was just 1 day from retirement and then I got dragged back in by these fucking crop circles and these crazy junkies who are probably racist.
I don't think there's any probably about it. I'm pretty.
Oh, no,
sure
they had SS tattoos, didn't they? Yeah.
and one of them.
racists.
I'm sure one of them says something. At one point, I'm sure one of them. I can't remember what he says, but I'm sure he says something not particularly friendly.
Well, I don't hear racism.
Is that the new I don't see colour? Jesus Christ. That's
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I was quite looking forward to maybe watching more of Big Jim solving crop circle mysteries and being like, this is the, because it sounds like he's had a pretty, I don't want to say subpar, but it's how he's describing it. It's that like,
he's not done the big hero thing that he wants to do, has he?
yeah,
It's like
sort
he's gone his whole career and he's not actually been satisfied with any of it, which is fucking terrifying. That idea.
yeah, that is a horrible thought.
But then here comes our Stephen King thing, which is you're introduced to a group of people who are from quite disparate parts of the world. Well, not too crazy. I mean, one's in Oklahoma, one's in New York, the other is in Japan. But
Japan is quite far away.
we jump. It's even further for us.
Yeah.
It's closer if you're in America. Is it? I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, would have to be.
It depends which way.
Planes couldn't fly that
not
far
even
in
then.
the war.
Yes. So we got big. Is his name Jim? Is it Jim Bell? Yeah, Big Sheriff Jim Bell. Big
Yeah.
Sam Neill.
Do you know, it's because it's been a couple of weeks since I watched this. I'd
Yeah.
completely forgotten about Japan,
Really, that was the
and how
Japan one was
that's the thing, and that was my favourite bit of it.
Yeah, that's so the Japanese astronauts storyline is my favourite of the three that we see. Although the one in New York, which is with Anisha Malik, that one's quite cool because kids go to school, and then every kid in the school has a nosebleed apart from her son, and I'm like, that. I don't know what would be weirder. Like, what would you be happier with? Like,
I think you'd be happier fitting in.
yeah. I mean, that was quite a good sequence. I did enjoy that. I thought that was quite cool because that's clearly like, something really weird's happening.
I think it was also. I think they could arguably have told, like, done it. They could even possibly done it over like 3 whole seasons, just given each episode they run, and then just gone like, and here we go again. And this is back to the start, but from a different place. But maybe that wouldn't work. I don't think. In looking back now,
I think, yeah, I think at some point you've got to have the groups of people meet, and like I'm rewatching Heroes at the minute, and I forgot just how much of a big deal it was over the course of Heroes that everyone is all over the world and all over America. So when their paths do cross, it's a big thing because you're like, oh shit, they're all connected. So I think, I think that's it's going to be a big part is when these, well, not the 3 characters because Sheriff Bell's dead, but when the deputy and Anisha Malik and Mitski all meet up, because that's inevitably what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. That little like town in America might get destroyed by a satellite that falls out of the sky.
Have you just read on as to what happens?
No, I'm just guessing because at the end of this, you see the
because
International Space Station get a bit
Blowed
holy.
up.
So still could be a god thing.
The other thing is that Anisha discovers that her husband has been cheating on her. And that was horrible, wasn't it? That scene. Do you remember? Like, she makes the dinner that she sees on the person that her husband's cheating on.
That's the
Gets
thing
the
that I
recipe
think
off the
that
Instagram.
is like the perfect fuck you.
It's gangster, and just, but also heartbreaking.
Yeah,
But
I
when she
think,
said,
like, and then
"Oh."
it's his why. Like his why is just like, because it's not you, and it's like,
Because not
oh,
you. Oh, you son of a bitch!
And it's like, if this house didn't start shaking, I was gonna hope you died. But then they have to like
Horrendous,
save the kids because everything starts shaking.
Yeah. What did she say? Something like, "What's wrong with my cooking? Why? You know." Oh, it was horrible, that bit. But yeah, so that's that bit. And then in Tokyo, we have Mitsuki, who is an astronaut who is part of the launch crew, I guess. I don't know what you call those people. The people who like they're at the desks while the rocket goes off.
They're the rocket scientists.
Okay, so he's literally a rocket scientist. But it transpires that her girlfriend is one of the astronauts who is going on the rocket. But obviously, being Japan, where attitudes towards same-sex relationships aren't quite as advanced as they are over here, they've had to keep it a secret. And it's horrendous when she's prepping to get on the rocket, and they just keep looking at each other, and there's so much that they're saying, just like, I want to say to you, like, I love you before you go, but I can't, and you've written this letter. It's horrendous. But that was my favourite.
And instead, I've said, "Have we met?"
Yeah. Yeah. Incredibly well done. But yeah, and then, as you say, that doesn't end well. The wiki page I'm looking at, it says, Mitsuki watches from the station as Hinata leaves the atmosphere in a space shuttle, though the venture into space doesn't go as intended. And I feel like doesn't go as intended is doing a lot of fucking heavy lifting in that sentence.
It's because it doesn't go as intended. Implies that some sort of survival.
Doesn't go as intended. Oh, what happened? Oh no, one of them spilt their coffee, and now it's all just floating around in blobs in the rocket. That's what not as intended is. Not, oh yeah, the fucking thing blew up.
But that's the thing. So, of the main characters that I can see listed in front of me, only one is listed as only being in the pilot. So there is a chance. There is a chance. Unless she's not listed as a main character.
Wait, what?
So there's only Sam Neill listed as only being in the pilot.
Well yeah, because he dies.
Yeah. But the space station has a big hole in the side of it. I don't know about you, but I don't think I'd survive in space.
You have completely lost me here. What, are you suggesting that she's not dead? Hinata?
That's what the cast list is suggesting to me.
Oh, okay. Oh, in fairness, I've just scrolled down the wiki page and it says Hinata's death? Question mark. So, oh right, okay, yeah. She's fine.
Yeah, but I don't know if that cheapens it. Oh no, it doesn't, because I'm rooting for that storyline. I want that to be the happy ending. I don't give a fuck about anyone else. But do you think you'll watch more of it?
Well, I can't now because my trial's expired with Apple TV. I think I've said this before. I always thought that you had to have an Apple device to get Apple TV, so I always forget it's a thing.
I'm much the same with Now TV. Always forget about Now TV.
See, I'm watching a lot of Now TV at the minute, and particularly after. I mean, we're going to record another episode in a minute. I'm going to be watching a lot more Now TV.
Yeah.
So.
Because that's the thing, I might, but this isn't high on. It's not high on my list of things to finish.
No, it's not high on my list. But what I will say is, I was surprised by how much I actually did enjoy it. Because I thought I would just be like, this isn't going to be all that. Actually, I did really enjoy it.
I think the thing they did really well was not
showing the alien,
not flexing too much alien shit straight away.
Well, I was reading about that, and apparently that was one of the big criticisms that people were making of it. Is like there weren't enough aliens in it, and I'm kind of like, I think they might have missed the point.
Have they seen Alien?
Actually, yeah. I think the alien in Alien is on screen for less time than the shark is in Jaws, or like it's the same amount of time. They each are on screen for like 5 minutes or something.
That's the thing. When you've got a big bad that's just about to fuck shit up, you can't get invested in the human characters by being like, "Hey, look, an alien."
So the shark in Jaws is on screen for less than 4 minutes. I mean,
That's some
And
Tom
the
Felton in Harry Potter minutes.
the alien in Alien, funny enough, again is on screen for only 4 minutes. So yeah,
But that's the thing, because it's more,
effective.
and you've got to give more presence to something that's travelled further than we could dream of travelling, and is here to fuck shit up. You've got to have a bit of foreplay, a bit of, well, what we've done here is to give you some indication of what's coming. Is we've drawn circles in all your plans.
Nah, have that.
That seems like that would upset you. Why are you chasing those hillbillies around? Why are you... what are you doing? Okay. Let me just shake a town. Are you paying attention yet?
I like the idea that they're just getting really annoyed. For fuck's sake, they're rubbish.
Why won't they notice us?
We drew them a pretty picture. Who else they want?
Oh, that's what they need. West Country aliens.
Yeah, I probably won't watch more of this, but I did definitely enjoy it more than I thought I was going to. So, you know what? Fair play. It was.
I think it might be one that I come back to at some point and remember and go, I'll give that a go.
I almost certainly won't.
What? Remember?
Yep.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, to be fair, it's probably going in the same box as Black Sails. Let's be honest.
Are you going to buy the Blu-rays? Are you?
No, I've learnt a lesson on that one. But
all right, so From then, which is an odd title, in the same way that I always find it weird when I refer to From Software. I think it's From. It just doesn't mean anything. From what? I've now got word disassociation. I've seen the word from too many times, and now it just doesn't even look like a word.
yeah, well, I guess it's the where are you from?
Where did they come from?
Yeah. Where are they going? It's nowhere. Apart from into the ground.
What do you... Okay, so we see there's a family, there's a kid who's about to go to bed, and there's somebody at the window outside a house.
Yeah, but they didn't do the learnings and learn to nail the window shut.
And this thing at the window claims to be her grandmother and appears to be in the shape of her grandmother. And I think, is it her mum or her dad who says, that's not your grandmother?
But it's too late.
But then doesn't really do anything else. Like, quick, come here, get away from the window. Because then the thing that's pretending to be her grandmother just smashes through the window and kills them.
Yes.
It kills the mum and the kid, right? Because it's the lad's away because he's pissed or something. Is that it?
Yeah.
That's it. Anyway, so then roll credits and we see Harold Perrineau as a sheriff. Again, we were talking about this the other day. Very nice to see Harold Perrineau back in something because I've not seen him in anything for a little while. So pleased he's leading a show. That was very good. And then, yeah, they're living in this town that kind of looks like it's kind of apocalypsy. And
yeah, it does
all
have
got
that
these...
very good like apocalypse vibe, but just not quite. Just a town out of time.
Yeah. You know what this would have paired well with actually is Revolution. Do you remember that from series 1?
Yes. Is that the Walking Dead-ish one?
It's the one that I think Giancarlo Esposito's in it, and it's kind of like Fallout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what that would pair really well with? The Fallout TV show that's coming out.
Oh yeah, I forgot there's a Fallout TV show. Well, it won't be as good as the Dead Space show that's inevitably going to come out. So that is a joke that is now over 10 years old.
Yeah. And if you'd just given Fallout a little bit of time, I gave Dead Space plenty of chances, and it just didn't scare me enough, so I stopped playing it.
Yeah, we see a family is driving around. They come through the town. They all have these weird sort of folk symbol-y things, folk horror-y, like stones that have got carvings in them that they hang in residences. That seems to keep the creatures at bay, which actually led you to say something that was very interesting about the fact that
vampires.
They might be. I like it. I do like it because they don't come out in the sunlight.
It's just because it's just the religious iconography and all of the things sort of fit, but like just not classic vampires. And classic vampires aren't a thing. Thank you, Twilight. But it's the thing that fits the most in my head. But there could also be some other sort of gribbly.
Yeah. I mean, I have just scrolled down a little way and they are referred to as monsters all the way through, so I don't know. Not to say
but that's the thing, like, they don't have to be a thing that's understood.
Yeah, I guess. They could just be like, oh, this is an odd thing. However, like, with a show like that, do you not think it might lose something if it never explains what the weird thing is? Because there's the family in the RV, they drive through the town and then they do that thing of they drive in the same direction but end up coming back into the town on the same road as they entered in the first time.
That's the thing. What I'd be interested in is like their old like soothsayer being like one of the kids will be like, why can't we leave? And she'll be like, oh, let me tell you a story about how this town is where we actually started burning witches and they did not like it and now we're fucked.
Something that I thought, like, this is again thinking about like vampires and the rules of vampires. Like, there's a scene. So the RV gets overturned, and one of the people inside it is trapped as the sun sets. And Harold Perrineau, as the sheriff, comes in and they're trying to help him out, but then they realise the sun's coming down. And two characters have a very brief conversation, but they say like one of them hangs up one of these stones that is some sort of protective pendant thing, and the other one says, "Do you think this counts?" Or like, "Do you think this will work here?" And he sort of goes, "Well, I guess there's one way to find out." So I think it might be the ruling is like if it's a residence or something, it keeps them out. But then I was like, could you not just get like a cardboard box and just have one of those stones on you? Does that count? Or yeah,
I don't know. I guess so. That the trouble is they've either been figuring out the rules, or one of these monsters has explained some rules.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. And it's I prefer the idea that one of these monsters has explained.
It's just knocked on the door. Like, listen, I just wanted to let you guys know how this works, right? If you roll a 6, we'll come through the window.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I kind of like the idea of that at some point in the party, it's just because it doesn't have to be they explained to these people. It was explained to someone who lived there like a couple hundred years ago. Can't go too far back in American history, but. And someone's explained to them how it works, and they've just passed that down and they just accepted it. So then when new people come in, they trap them and go, well, you live here now, you have to put this little token on your door. If you're outside at night, you'll probably die and we'll just bury you and we don't care.
So everywhere I'm looking, it says like, oh, it's a town that traps everybody who enters. So is it that weird thing of like, oh, the town is the biggest monster?
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't know, but it looks like there's what one of the girls is now starting to kill people as well. Because it's the girl who stabs one of the people who crashed the car. In the little doctor's surgery.
Oh yes, God! Do you know this is the thing? Like, it was last week I watched this, so it's already fallen out of my head. But no, you're absolutely right. Yeah,
that's the thing. So, for a minute there, I was just like, "Am I
talking about the right show?"
Yeah, am I dreaming my way through these shows?
I don't remember that happening in The Summer I Turned Pretty. The stabbing, to be fair. So. Yeah, so what do you reckon then? Like, do you like it? Are you going to watch more of it?
I do like it, and I think I probably will watch more.
I tell you what my my concern is that if they haven't got a clear idea of what this is, are they gonna just do the Lost thing of just being like, we'll just keep things juggling in the air, and then be like, it's definitely not this thing, it's definitely not this thing, it's definitely not this thing, and then they get to the end, it's like, yeah, it's that thing.
Maybe that's a clause in Harold's contract. Where he's just like,
listen, I ain't fucking doing that again.
I'm
right?
only going to do fucking weird shit that doesn't really have an ending. Like, just fucking open end it, and then I'll just leave.
Either that, or as long as there's like big squid robots and I can sit in a big mech and shoot them all down, that's fine.
Yeah, I think, I hope that it either keeps up what it's doing and just, like, never explains it. Because I'm okay with them having their own explanations for it. But they don't necessarily need to say if that's true, or, like, what's true and what's not.
Yeah.
Because there's clearly, like, a divide in the town anyway. So they can have different theories and, like, different lore and stuff for what's going on. And I think that's almost more interesting.
Yeah, if
'Cause
they're
it's
figuring
more
out the
human.
rules of it. That's a really good shout, actually. It is trial and error, but, like, the error is, oh, well, someone died.
Yeah. The error is, that new family have 2 kids. Do they need 2?
That's Sophie's choice there, motherfuckers. I think of the 2, I probably enjoyed From a bit more. But that's mainly just because it's like, oh, look, it's small town America and it's horror. And it's like, yeah, that's always been something I've loved.
Yeah,
so.
but Stephen King had nothing to do with it. And I don't understand.
Do you know, I did see a picture the other day. It was in a bookshop. And, you know, in Waterstones and stuff, they've got, like, the tables that they lay all the books out on. There was one, it was a section, and it was the little flag that was coming at the top that said, horror that's written by literally anyone other than Stephen King. And I think fair play to him, because I think he liked it.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I think Stephen King, I'd argue it's not necessarily because he's the best. He's a fairly consistent horror writer. Yeah, but he's just written the most. I said consistent and knew that I didn't mean it.
I mean, you're right in the word consistent, because I think it's pretty much every year he's released a book a year since 1972 or whenever Carrie came out.
But that's the thing, when I said consistent, I meant consistently, like, at a level of storytelling. And that is incorrect.
1974. I got that wrong. I'm so sorry.
Because some
got
of the
a
stuff's
new
hit and miss, but...
Oh, yeah, that's the thing, is like, he's consistent with the output. The quality of it is not necessarily the best, is it?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. His story would start as From and go, oh, that's very interesting. And then it would end as Invasion, where you go, but... Yeah. But not this invasion, not the invasion we just discussed, the invasion from 2005.
I would love it if, in some weird twist of fate, you end up being Stephen King's agent, but every single book he tries to convince you he wants to end it with aliens.
That would be infuriating, but I'd also enjoy just being like, so how are you going to work them into this one, champ?
He just looks at you, just real sad, like, aliens? And you just put an arm around it. Oh, buddy, no.
Not this time. This time it's the French.
Oh dear. Yeah. So yeah, I did really enjoy these shows. So fair play. We had after the fucking shite that was Saint X.
Just predictable.
Yeah.
Because that's the nice thing with both of these shows, that you can't categorically say what you think is going to happen, because you're like, well, they either escape the town or they don't in From.
Yep.
But I don't think that's important.
No, I don't think so either.
An invasion, they're going to get fucked up by aliens. Or will they? Or is it God?
We've got another episode coming out in a couple of weeks' time, and I'm gonna tease it. One of these shows, it's fuck it, I'm gonna say it's the best pilot we've ever discussed.
Yeah. And that is going to ruin this podcast. Much like Gilmore Girls did once upon a time. But it doesn't get quite as much of a mention as it used to. And that disappoints me.
Well, to be fair, I haven't done a run through Gilmore Girls since the first one. Yeah, just not quite watching it as intensely as we were in 2017 or whatever it was that we got obsessed with it.
Well, soon you'll be up late at night for no real good reason, and that is the perfect time to rewatch Gilmore Girls.
Do you know what? I might do just that because I'm going to want something that's familiar, something I don't have to concentrate on, so that if and when I'm distracted by screaming, poo, wee, vomit, milk, or when baby duck's up, then yeah. Well, the next episode we're going to discuss the best pilot we've ever discussed, and it's only taken us 9 years to get it.
Well, that's the thing. We never really set out with the goal of finding the best pilot.
I think we've done it though. We accidentally did it. Yeah, we stumbled across it. No one else knows about this show. It's just up to the
I don't think anyone's ever mentioned it. Fuck off, we're not middle-aged yet. We're close, but we're not quite there yet.